Imago kids, welcome back to this week's video, and I still haven't found Dr. Professor Sciencey McScienceface. Every time I leave, he shows up, and I can't find him myself. So hopefully this week I'll catch him, but I haven't yet. Have you guys seen him every week? Has he shown up to do the experiments? He has? Well, I'm glad you guys got to see him, but I miss hanging out with my friends, so I'll have to catch him one of these days. But today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a couple different things. We're going to talk about how to deal with sin and how to be perfect and where our righteousness, which is living right, comes from. And it's not from you or me, I'll tell you that much now, but we'll get there in a bit. And so we'll be talking about all those things, but of course I want to ask about the two important things. One is, have you been doing your 100 acts of kindness? Yeah? Awesome. What have you done? Those are some good ones. Man, I wish I had thought of those. Those are pretty clever. Well, keep doing your acts of kindness. I still haven't heard from anybody that we've hit 100, so I want you to be the first one. So keep being kind and filling in that poster. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the video description below, there is a thing that you guys can print out and have a 100 acts of kindness poster. There's little hearts. You color one in every time you do an act of kindness, and the first one to 100 is going to get a prize. And everybody that finishes it will get a shout out on these videos. So you'll want to do one. Next one is, who's got a birthday? I know who has a birthday. Caleb's got a birthday coming up in just a couple days. And so Caleb, happy birthday. I hope you have an awesome day celebrating with your family. Hopefully you get to eat something special or maybe even do something special. I'm sure your parents will get super creative. But happy birthday, Caleb, and I hope you enjoy your day. But we'll get right into everything. So we're going to be talking about, like I said, righteousness. And that's a big word. Can you say it? Righteousness. Cool. Well, what it means, really, is just living the way we're supposed to. And God is the one who made us. Now, anybody who makes something, they know how it's supposed to work. If I made a paper airplane, I know how to make that paper airplane work and make it fly. If I put a whole car together, I would know how to make that car work. The same way, if God's the one who made us, then He knows how we're supposed to work. And so He teaches us how to live right, righteously. That's exactly what we'll be talking about today. But you and I, we don't always live perfect. Are you perfect? I heard a couple of you try to trick me. I know you're not perfect, and that's okay. I'm not perfect either. And so today we're going to be talking about where our perfection comes from. Jesus actually at one point tells us to be perfect the same way that God is perfect. How are we supposed to do that? That seems impossible. Have you ever not listened to your parents and done something you weren't supposed to? Me too. Me too. I've done those things too. But I always keep trying, and I know you guys are trying too, to do better and better and better, but it doesn't always work out perfect. But here's one passage we've got in John 7:38. It says, "Whoever believes in me," this is Jesus talking, "as the scripture has said, streams of living water will flow up from within him." Now, we are made a little bit of water, but there's not like a water fountain inside of us if we believe in Jesus. So we'll talk about what he means in just a minute. But here's the other one. In John 3:16, you guys might have heard this one. "God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever would believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." Life that lasts for absolutely ever. That's his gift to us. And so we've got an experiment to talk about what it looks like for that water to well up inside of us and how we can embrace and have that everlasting life every day. Does that sound good? Yeah? Well, Dr. Professor Sciencey McScienceface is late again. So which way should I head to find him this week? Should I head this way? No? Okay. Well, some of you said yes, but I think a lot of you said no. Should I head this way? Straight there? Okay, I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna see if I can find him over there this week. All right. See you guys in a couple minutes. Oh, hey, Amago kids. Have you guys seen Pastor Kyle? I've been looking for him. Do you know which way he left? He left that way? Man, I always miss him. Well, it's me, Dr. Professor Sciencey McScienceface. And we want to keep talking. I was supposed to meet Pastor Kyle here and talk about the life and the righteousness that God puts inside of us. That all we have to do is believe in Jesus, and it's like living water comes inside of us. But he's not here. Should we just go ahead and do the experiment? Yeah? Okay, well, let's get right into it. I'm going to open up my notes here. Well, we're going to go over to our science cam, and we'll do everything from there. So over here, we've got two old ordinary balloons. This one is just orange. It's no different than the other one. But this one is red and has water in it, like the rivers of living water that Jesus puts inside of us when we believe in him. So you guys can see even the water moving around there. All right, now, this is an extra important thing. You can't do this experiment without a parent helping you. All right? Got it? All right. So parents, if you guys want to do this one, there's no tricks at all. It's just exactly how it looks as we've shown it. But kids, no doing this experiment on your own. Promise? Okay. So, the reason why this one's a little dangerous, first, we need a candle to be lit. That's real fire. See? You need parents' help on this one. Now, what do you think would happen if I put this balloon over the candle? Imagine this balloon is like you and me. It's like our life. And this is the pressures and things of this world that are facing us. Yeah, you can sometimes imagine it's like you're going through a tough scenario. It's like it's a lot of heat facing this scenario. That's just one thing I've heard put it that way once in a while. But imagine this is you and me, and sometimes we come up against tough situations. Maybe things that we're supposed to do that we may want to do and don't end up doing, or maybe things that we're not supposed to do, and sometimes we feel like we're going to do it even though we know we shouldn't. Or even just not showing kindness and love the way that Jesus has asked us. So, what happens when we face the pressure if we don't have living water inside of us? Well, I'm going to put this balloon over the fire, and we'll find out. But I want you guys to count with me once I do, and we'll see how long it lasts. Ready? Here we go. 1. Whoa! 1 second! That barely lasted at all! Okay, so all we got to do is count to 1. When we've got living water inside of us, let's see if it makes a difference. How far do you think we can make it? I think we can make it at least to 5, and we won't have it pop. So we got to relight our fire, because that explosion put the fire out. All right, so ready? Let's see what happens, what the difference makes when we have living water inside of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We went all the way to 10 and it didn't even pop. All right, let's pop back over to our other camera. Isn't it amazing how different it makes the balloon last when the water is inside of it? And the same thing happens for us. Just fixing my bow tie here, my doctor bow tie. We have Jesus come inside of us, and it's like living water just by believing in him, believing that the way that he lived, by loving others, by showing forgiveness and joy and having peace inside of him, if we believe in him, he gives us those things. He gives us the living water. It's not that you can be perfect in and of yourself. You can't do it on your own. Have you tried to be perfect? Yeah, I've tried to do things right as well. And here's a verse from Romans. We've talked about Paul, our friend Paul, who wrote a bunch of books in the New Testament. This comes from his book called Romans in chapter 3, verse 23 to 24. It says, righteousness from God comes through faith in Jesus Christ to all who believe. There's no difference, for all have sinned, we've all done wrong. We've lived not right and fall short of the glory of God. And we are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Jesus Christ. This is the verse that tells us that, again, all we have to do is believe, and our righteousness, the way that we live right, comes to us from Jesus. He gives us this gift. Now, I'm going to grab my balloon. You guys probably have water maybe close by. Maybe you have a water bottle with you. You've got taps in your house for sure. You've got one in the bathroom and one in the kitchen and one probably outside your house for the hose. You've got water everywhere. It's really easy to get water, isn't it? But the thing is, water is also super valuable. If we didn't have water, we couldn't drink, our bodies can't work right, all those things. And the gift of Jesus is the same. It's super easy to get. All we have to do is believe and trust Him. But we have to recognize it's super important and super valuable too. He gives it to us and all we have to do is believe, but then He also starts to want to change our lives so we become more like Him. That the water that's inside of us isn't just for us. It's something that we give to others around us. And others begin to see Jesus in us too. They say, hey, that person, whatever your name is on the other side of the screen, they can really handle tough situations. They do the things right when they're supposed to. I see that they don't do the things wrong nearly as much as I do. They seem to love and care for people maybe better than I do. And sometimes maybe they'll ask about that. And you'll tell them, I've got living water inside of me. And maybe they'll ask silly questions like, well, can you fill up my water bottle? Mine's empty. I don't think that's what they'll say. But you'll tell them the reason why. It's not because I'm great. It's because Jesus is inside of me. And so Jesus gives us His living water that we can live right just because of Him. Our righteousness comes from Him. All you have to do is believe. And then He brings us on this awesome journey of helping change us to be more like Him, being life-giving water to all around us. Are you guys in for the adventure? Awesome. Well, we'll keep doing all these experiments to experiment more and understand more why that is and how Jesus helps us live that life-giving water life. But I got to find Pastor Kyle. So you guys said he went that way? Well, I'm going to head off and I'm going to go find him. I'll see you guys next Tuesday for our next video. Stay safe and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.